Good morning, everyone. I'm so happy to see everyone here this morning. I was telling Jakob before that probably I don't see so many people who I know have presents to go to a wedding. Good morning. My name is Larry Weber, and in about 2 minutes we shall be hearing from our welcoming speaker, Dr. Jakob Shamash. I would like to add my welcome to his, to all of those who are attending our spring workshop, the Entrepreneur's Toolkit. It is organized and provided jointly by the New York Center of Excellence in Wireless and Information Technology, affectionately known by its acronym CEWIT, and the New York Center for Advanced Technology and Diagnostic Tools and Sensor Systems, affectionately known by the abbreviated form SensorCat. I also thankfully acknowledge the support of our sponsoring organization, Empire State Development's Division of Science, Technology, and Innovation, NISTAR, who has encouraged us to present this event focused on the strategic and informational needs of entrepreneurs, early-phase companies, and inventors. Dr. Jakob Shamash is the Vice President for Economic Development and the Dean of the College of Engineering and Applied Sciences at Stony Brook University. As Vice President, Dr. Shamash supervises the university's 4 incubators, 2 New York State Centers for Advanced Technology, the Center of Excellence in Wireless and Information Technology, the Advanced Energy Center of Excellence, which is just down the road, and the Small Business Development Center, the Workforce Development Programs of the Center for Emerging Technologies, and the Strategic Partnership for Industrial Resurgence. During his tenure as Dean, college research expenditures have increased 6-fold to $30 million per year. He spearheaded the effort leading to formation and funding of CEWIT, including its dedicated 100,000 square foot facilities opened in 2009. CEWIT generated over $150 million in corporate commitments, matching a $50 million state capital award, and has completed over 500 industry and federal projects. We're very fortunate to have Dr. Shamash with us today.
Thank you, Larry, and good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Delighted to be here. Pleased you all could make it this morning this early. It is early for some of us, right? Before I start, I would like to recognize one of the people that we work very closely with at NISTAR, who happens to be here also. And I would like to point him out so that you guys can bombard him with questions later on. Please join me in welcoming John G. He's a great asset for New York State, but also for Long Island, since his parents live here and his brother lives here. So anyway, so I'd like to talk a little bit about economic development at Stony Brook and how it can support entrepreneurs here on the island. I'd like to thank Larry for all the work that he did in putting this thing together. I'd like to, and I also want to thank Dr. Serge Laurier, the head of the Center for Advanced Technology and Sensors, and to Dr. Sachi Sharma, the executive director of CEWIT, for all their support and in helping Larry put this together. Now, organizing the program as a toolkit is an excellent idea. You can't make people be entrepreneurs or entrepreneurial. They either have the entrepreneurial spirit or they don't. But you can provide people who have the entrepreneurial spirit with tools to help their startup ventures succeed. And what we try to do is essentially help those startups succeed. And our success rate as far as startup companies has been extremely good. And if I remember, where's Anne-Marie? Is she here? Where's Anne-Marie? Anne-Marie's all the way in the back there. She doesn't want to be recognized. In our incubators, I believe our success rate for companies in the incubator have been at around
55%.
55%, when the average nationwide is about 10%. So we have an incredible record of being able to nurture startups through our incubator programs, as well as the toolkit that you're going to see in a minute, and you're going to hear about all day. I'm not going to talk about the CATs, the two Centers for Advanced Technology that we have at Stony Brook. I'm not going to talk about the two Centers of Excellence because Larry is going to talk to you about that, and I think the program is going to do that. So let me go to the next slide. And this is a vision that we developed for economic development at Stony Brook in 2011. And you can read it, I assume? Can you read it? No. I'll read it because I think it's important. I can't read it either. Okay, a top-tier research university, Stony Brook will be a key engine of a dynamic, interconnected, and entrepreneurial regional ecosystem that feeds the prosperity of self-sustaining, whatever. Anyway. Okay, so we really are, it's part of our makeup, part of the university's mission to support entrepreneurial activity. And this vision is consistent, like I said, with the university's vision. It's consistent with the State University of New York vision, and it's certainly consistent with the vision of NISTAR and economic development, so ESD. So it's consistent also with Long Island's vision. If you look at our vision through the LIA and some of the other organizations, LIFT and LISTNet, and it's been supported by the Regional Economic Development Councils, which we've heard about over the past few years. This is a great time to be an entrepreneur, right? Everybody wants to help them. Stony Brook has been working with entrepreneurs since our first New York State Center for Advanced Technology, established by NISTAR, and was designated in 1983, and has done a remarkable job. Our first incubator started in 1992, and I want you to know that we will be here for you even when entrepreneurs stop being cool, right? Everybody now being an entrepreneur is a cool thing, so let's go to the next one. Okay, this one you should be able to read. This is some of the major initiatives and programs, a timeline for when they were established. So the CAT in biotech was established in 1983. The SBDC, Small Business Development Centers, was in 1989 all the way to 2011 when the Energy Center was established. And now, this past year, the Startup New York program and the Long Island Angel Network. So, if you look at the Small Business Development Center, I'll start with. It's located here in the R&D Park. It's in a building about half a mile from here. Its services are provided confidentially, one-on-one, at no cost. And I think some of you have already used the SBDC. About 25% of the clients of our SBDCs are technology companies. If you're a technology entrepreneur, the advisors speak your language. Stony Brook, we go on now to LITE, the Long Island High Tech Incubator, and other incubators on the campus. Stony Brook has more than 100 square feet of incubator space for startup companies. Space is available in modules ranging from 1,000 square feet down to 200 square feet. If you're not ready to pay rent, as a lot of the entrepreneurs, when they start, are very, very poor, our incubators have an Incubator Without Walls program. So you don't actually have a physical space, but you can utilize the supporting programs that go with it. Then we started the SPUR program in 1994, and that's based on the colleges of engineering at Stony Brook, Buffalo, and Binghamton. And the purpose of that was to essentially utilize the facilities of the engineering colleges, engineering schools, as R&D labs for the multitude of small companies around New York State. And it's been a very, very successful program. So what happens there is that, in effect, the program will interact with the company, they come up with a project that the company would like to be done, the company comes up with 2/3 of the funding necessary to do the project, and the program will pay the other third as a match. And in any one year, we probably do about 80 projects, I think, or 100 projects now with something like 60, 70 companies. And which means that we have many companies that have more than one project. It's a very positive thing. And all of the companies have to be small companies. Then we started a center for corporate training and operational excellence to offer training on campus and on site at companies. Largest programs are in project management, lean manufacturing, and lean office processes, and Six Sigma. Within the corporate training center, we also have an energy training institute, which offers LEED and other certification programs. And we also help companies to get training funds from the state. There's a lot of money available for training, and we try to enable that process for the companies. Then we realized that there was another gap in what entrepreneurial companies, small companies needed, and that was angel financing. Okay? They were using their own money, they were using their parents' monies, their brothers and sisters and family and friends, and when that runs out, they're stuck. Venture capitalists don't want to look at you because you're too small, and so we created the Long Island Angel Network. Right? And that was founded in 2009, but really kicked off about 2011, 2012. That's when we started investing in companies. And it's been a great success. Then, last year, we started the Startup New York program. And under that, companies moving into space designated as Startup New York space will not have to pay any corporate taxes for 10 years and don't have to pay any state income taxes for the employees for 10 years. It's an incredible bargain. And since we were approved in, I think around October of last year, and we already have 19 companies that have been admitted into that program. Some of them are resident in this facility, some are in the Energy Center, some are over in the Long Island High Tech Incubator, and we're in the process of building a third building in the park, right next to this building on the other side of the road, to accommodate startup companies. We received $62 million from the state to build that facility, so that when these startups are growing in CEWIT or in the Energy Center or in the incubator, when they graduate, we don't lose them from the region, we don't lose them from New York State. They can move into that facility where they can have more space. So there's a lot of activity going on in the Startup New York program. Then, so you can see from this slide that there are a lot of different programs to support startups. Okay? We have a very rich number of programs available to help small companies. So what have we done over the years? We've done more than 3,500 projects with companies, with more than 550 companies. And we've increased the corporate revenues of those companies working with us by about $750 million, as reported to us by the companies. And helped companies create or retain more than 19,000 jobs, as told by them, and that they sign off on this. So I think the message that we get from this slide is that our programs have worked and continue to work. And there are more and more programs being started up by the state that is supportive of startup companies. One of them was the Hotspot program, which was established at the same time, which was funded at the same time as the Startup New York program. And the Hotspot program was It's essentially designating space as a hotspot space or facility. Then companies that move into that facility can get, I believe it's 5 years, no corporate taxes, no state taxes at all for 5 years. They don't have the benefit of the income tax. So you say, okay, well, why would anybody want to go to the hotspot? Why don't they just go to Startup New York? Because they get the income tax thing too. The nice thing about the hotspot is should you move out of that facility, you can take your tax exemptions with you. With the startup, if you move, you lose all your benefits. So those are the two programs that are available. So we have designated the hotspot not only as being Stony Brook space, but we have included all of the incubators on Long Island under our hotspot. There could only be one hotspot for the region, and so since we have the most in terms of numbers of incubators, numbers of programs that support companies, we wrote the proposal and we wanted, but we included all our partners on Long Island and other incubators. So I think the region is ready, doing a lot of things already. We can do a lot more. We're anxious to do a lot more. And I hope that many of you, I know a couple of you here already that have startup companies. I've talked with them.